Hello, I want to talk with you about how overthinking affects the real you. Listen in, especially if you're an executive woman, you need to know this. Those of us that have pursued our careers or we're really conscious about doing things well. Perhaps we've excelled in our education and our professional development. This is so common. In fact, before getting on here, I'm thinking I probably overthought what I was going to be saying here. My name is Judy Herman. I'm the author of Beyond Messy Relationships, and I'm also a psychotherapist and a coach. But I want to share with you what a lot of us, it's so common to overthink things. If you live day in and day out, we live in this day of technology, being online, information galore. We can ask Mama Google anything, right? And we overthink things. And here's what I mean by that. We have so much more than the left logical side, left hemispheres of our brains, right? We have also a full range of emotions on the other side, and we have our entire bodies that give us wisdom. But here's what happens. We overthink. Recently, I had a coaching. I was the coachee, and I was getting some wisdom and counsel from my coach, Wendy Anderson. And after spending an hour together, I said, Wendy, I said, I was telling her all the things I was doing. I said, what do I need to stop doing? Because I believe in having what you call a to don't list. She said, Judy, stop overthinking, just do it. That's so true, because not only I struggle with that, but I know a lot of my clients do. I know you do. Let's be honest, okay? But here's what overthinking and how it does, how it affects the real, true you. Number one, overthinking, it limits our creativity. If we're working on a project and we are overthinking it and we're not getting that project out until it is perfect, well, I've learned a long time ago, as I'm showing up here on Facebook Live, you know that these are not perfect, right? But it's better to be done than perfect. So just do it and learn and grow and perfect as you go along. So practice makes progress. Practice doesn't make perfect. So our overthinking and even a perfectionistic attitude will limit our creativity and limit our projects. I do need to give an example too. I wrote my book, Beyond Messy Relationships, and I got to a point where I was probably 60,000 words, maybe more, I don't know. But my editor, my structural editor, gave me it's like a checklist of things to not, there were things I was, not embellishing, fleshing out, but stories that really didn't need to be in the book, but I thought they were important. But she gave me a checklist of, okay, just make sure that it is so hyper focused on the theme. It may be a great story, but if it doesn't go along with your theme of getting beyond messy relationships, divine invitations to your authentic self, then it had to go. So I cut probably about 10,000 words, because nobody wants to read a memoir or a book that it just goes on and has a whole bunch of fluff and not substance. So it is substance. So it affects us whether we're writing whatever creative project we have going on. We need to get hyper focused and not overthink. Number two, it limits. Overthinking affects the real you because it limits, or it makes you liable for anxiety and depression, rumination, going over and over a negative event in your life that's happened in the past. Maybe there's a need for there to be some completion, some complete grief, a complete story, whatever. But if you keep on ruminating about it and worrying about it, it's going to set you up for anxiety and depression. And we've got to learn how to let things go and how to live in this present moment, which takes me to my third point. So it limits creativity. It makes you liable for anxiety and depression. And the third thing is life becomes unlived. If you are constantly going and your mind is constantly going and you're not taking the time to even listen to the inner workings of the spirit in you, and you don't listen to your God-given intuition, and you don't take time to live in this present moment and to notice and to be aware, your kids are going to grow up. They're going to be adults. You're going to have missed their childhoods. It limits, it makes life unlived, and we want to live in our lives. So those are 3 things, the reason how overthinking and why overthinking affects the real you. I do have a program called Show Up and Be You. Stop walking on eggshells and live the true you. And this is for executive women who are overthinking, how to have some methods and ways in which to be aware of that, catch it, but also just to live your life purposeful and positive and without regret. I would love to come alongside. So you can please just give me shoot me an email, judy@judycounselor.com, and I have some discovery calls that I would be glad to get on a discovery call with you. See where you are in your situation and how I can be of service. And if it's not a good fit, I'll lead you in the right direction of where to go next. And then you can also order my book, Beyond Messy Relationships. You can get that directly from my website. If you have a US address, I will send you an author signed copy. The main thing is that you don't overthink your life, because your life is so valuable. I want you to live it well and really bring out the best in you, bring out the authentic you that you may not even know yet, but how to live with joy and peace beyond regret. Thanks so much for joining me, Judy Herman, author of Beyond Messy Relationships, and thanks so much for meeting me here. Bye-bye.